Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Hi, Pisces. Thanks for being here and joining me for your November general reading. They're getting out right on time, hopefully. It might be a few days late, and I am sorry. But I want to thank you for being here in this moment in space and time and for setting your intention for these readings. Your guys' support through October has been overwhelming. Thank you guys so much for clicking in and checking out these readings. I really appreciate it. And I feel, Pisces, you've come through a lot, and there's a lot going on at this time for you, which is why when we see the amount of views go up through the roof, it's like the reason why is because certain adversities and certain things that you need to figure out are coming to a head. They're coming to a point where it's like problems need to be solved. We need to move past things. The world, for some of you, some travel and some overall good feelings that you're moving forward for something. So that's a good flipper to see come out there. We're just letting tarot get sorted out here, and then we're going to read your cards. Going to have a little looky-loo, so to speak. I want to wish you all well on your journeys and in good health. I hope you're all experiencing bliss and hope, faith, all them good feelings at this time. They pull us through, sometimes through the darker times or the tougher times. We're streamlining the video a little bit. Want to get them down to about 10-15 minutes. Just, I know you guys are busy, and so am I, so we're going to have a look-loo and see what's going on. We've got a 10 of Wands up in your overall energy. So yeah, there is this feeling of a little bit of burden, a little bit of anxiety that has kind of accumulated over the last couple months, I feel, where it's like, wow, the world is really kind of dogging at your heels. And for some of you, it might even outrightly just got you down, feeling down and out about like, what's the point? Or like, wow, the struggle is very real. Am I really getting ahead in a 9-to-5? Seems like maybe the things that you're doing, they don't turn out to a preset expectation that you might have had. I just hope that you're not locked into situations where you're feeling failure, where you're feeling like it's never enough and those sort of things. The 10 of Wands is kind of like the 5 of Pentacles in a way, where there can be a certain lack mentality, but it is unnecessary. You have the ability to let it all go, to release it all. It doesn't mean you don't have to go to work, you don't have to take care of your responsibilities, but it's all about the perception and about how we're directing our passion towards life. If life is too much and we don't feel passion towards it, it has that downward spiral effect where it's like the dog pile. Things just keep piling up upon you, wherein it's like if you take pride in accomplishing even these mundane small tasks and kicking these responsibilities to the curb one at a time, the more you'll feel rejuvenated and liberated, that you're actually free to move, to be upwardly mobile again and to get moving on things. This is kind of like the opposite of that World Flipper card that came out. It's like some of you have this great journey, or what's the word I'm looking for? This great idea maybe to like go on a vacation, to travel, or maybe you have to call in sick to work to go and do it. Or there's a lot of things that you have to take care of before you do that. And it's kind of like the mountain might seem insurmountable at this time, but you can see the reward already. And I have that feeling because the world is there. That is a card of completion, and so is the 10 of Wands is a card of completion. So it's like, just finish it up, whatever it is. Tie these loose ends up, get this stuff done, and it will feel like the weight of the world is lifted off your shoulders. It's like... I feel like some of you are almost tempted to like cut and run or to give up on something, but it's kind of like you can take care of these things as long as you do it in sort of a very linear, a very, methodical, one thing at a time, one day at a time sort of thing, get you back to feeling good or where you want to be, Pisces. Let's go down to the root chakra. King of Cups reversed. I think we saw this in the love and romance for you guys as well. It's like some of you guys are just not feeling yourselves. You're just not feeling as happy or as healthy as you know you could be. For some of you, it could be just a situation where there could be some escapism going on through drinking or through other means of altering your state of consciousness, rather than facing things, in sobriety or at face value. And again, I want to make sure that you guys realize how beautiful, how awesome, and how much potential you really have, rather than being in this point of acceptance and being like, things are the way things are, and there's not really much I can do about it. You know deep down in your heart that that's bupkis. In your very soul, in your very being, you know that you have the always have the potential to turn things around. And where it starts is within. So this is going to be like affirmations in front of the mirror, getting to the gym, working out, eating healthy. These kind of things are going to be kind of in your face for November, asking you, do this. Don't don't be the couch potato or the slouch at the bar, or that kind of thing this month, because it's almost like, dreaming about it and going about it in ways that are like kind of mentally or forecasting, and then but not biding your time appropriately and getting involved in things that aren't helping you towards your goal, but actually maybe adding to more problems or things on the dog pile. November's going to be a time where you have the ability to kick it all off, to get up, to get out and get doing it again. And hopefully you don't choose just to lay there and allow more things to pile up on you, Pisces. Okay, kind of harsh, I know, but I don't want to sugarcoat this stuff, all right? Oh my goodness, we got another completion card, another 10. And this time the 10 of Swords. So whatever it is here, it's almost like it's tough for you to see around a problem at this time. It's almost like David and Goliath syndrome, where it's like you look up at that giant, you look up at that mountain, you're like, there is no effing way that I'm going to get up there or I'm going to get around this. I'm just going to have to accept that I need to restart, start over, go backwards. It doesn't have to be the case. The 10 of Swords is just saying that there could be a creative solution to your problem. There could be something that you can do in order so that the burden that whatever this is in your face is having on you is lessened or nullified altogether. And it comes a part of the way that you perceive it and the way that you think about it. You almost like have to stop giving it your mental power. You almost have to, like, if you're laying down at night, or if you pull out the pen and paper or the guitar or the notepad, whatever it is, don't start playing it with this problem in mind, or don't start writing with this problem in mind. You almost want to go in and you want to do some deeper meditations. You want to quiet your mind at this time. Let this thing know that it doesn't have the power to defeat you. It can, if it is a setback, you can accept it, but there is a way around it. There is a way to solve this. So, for some of you on the mundane, the ticky-tacky, long-standing relationships may finally be coming to an end in this. Or for some of you, you may be having to let go of someone that is moving farther away. This could be an older child that is just like the family dynamic for some of you, I feel, has changed, and you may be taking it very hard. And for others of you, this is more about self. This is more about the realization or the remembrance of your potential, of your inner strength. Because whatever this chapter is like, it doesn't have to end on a sour note. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be a bit of a cliffhanger and say, but you know what? Pisces will rise from the ashes. They will rise again one day with a brand new, fresh start. But you can't do that until you stop giving this thing your mental and your spiritual power. You need to cleanse, purify, refresh, and meditate, and get back to the basics of self. All right? All right, now in the solar plexus chakra, we've got a reversal on the Justice card. So this lets me know that for some of you, this could be something that is binding legally, that it's tough for you to get out of it. And there's no pentacles here, so I don't know if it's affecting your wallet, your pocketbook, but it more so could be this situation for some of you with children, where it's like maybe a parenting agreement has gone sour, or maybe we've got a situation where you've been accused of something, or you got into a situation with somebody, and now it's like you could end up feeling guilty by association, or actually being deemed guilty by association for some of you. The Justice card reversed, this is your willpower. This is your karmic fairness. Like, if you were acting a little bit dodgy, or if you kind of were rude or mean to somebody in a situation, it's like intuitively you got to take your lumps and get back to it. It's like, God, I can't believe I'm going to use this analogy, but it's like when I tee off from the box and my ball slices and goes way off into the trees, I just don't grab a club and try and power back through the trees, because I end up going to be in worse trouble than I was before. I simply just take my lumps, take a soft shot back onto the fairway so that I can get moving forward down the fairway again, rather than just like trying to struggle through the trees and take, 10 whacks at it, sort of thing. That's a golf analogy for you, but I'm only human. That was the best one I could think of. So if you are into some trouble, take your lumps, get out, get fresh start, and get moving forward again. Even though it might not end up as the best possible result, it's better than getting yourself off into worse trouble, okay? Now, let's take a look. Oh my goodness, you guys. What the heck is going on? Look at these cards now. Look at all of these deep burgundies and purples that are coming down through this area of your chakra, right? The reversal on the tower in your heart chakra is saying you have an opportunity now to put this to bed, to bury this for good. Put the past away, Pisces, all right? And lay down with new knowledge a brand new cornerstone, a brand new foundation for yourself, somewhere where you have some substance to stand on. It's like the feeling of quicksand being under your feet. The more you struggle, the more it sucks you down. It's like maybe you have to accept a little bit of help. Take some help. Or come back to somebody that has always been there for you, but maybe you feel like you can't turn to them because maybe you screwed them over somehow in the past. It's like we have to be humble in this type of situation so that we can put the past away and we can move forward. So and again, no pentacles. And normally when I see what's not there, so now it could be a financial, because we're not seeing anything representative of the material, right? Some of you could be feeling like, oh, it's gotten to the point where it's like you could be feeling bankrupt or broke or out of money and that sort of thing. And your heart is just kind of like, well, you don't want to hit the streets, or you don't want to have to rely on social services or anything like that. But the Tower in your heart card is saying, let's get started again. Let's stand up. Let's stand up for ourselves and let's move on. Like the past can only haunt you if you give it the potential to do that, okay? And these readings are coming on October 31st, so haunting is kind of one of those words that I use. And I don't mean to make too much light of this, Pisces. I feel like your plight has been tough. It hasn't been easy for you guys, and it's like, all the advice that I'm giving when I see these cards is telling you put the past away, don't deal with it. But you could be very much bound by a situation or feeling trapped or pinned under something or somebody's rules, somebody's, whatever it might be. It could be a court order that's got you just feeling down. Take a 90-degree turn. Walk away from it, Pisces. Don't try and beat your head against it. Okay, now in the heart, you've got this card of intuition. This is an interesting card to see here in your heart, because we always talk about intuition coming from the lower down or the solar plexus, but the heart is a very intuitive center as well. And especially when it comes to your feelings, when it comes back to this King of Cups, when it's like, when you know things could get better, and when you feel like you've been screwed over or something, you have to trust in karma that it will play out eventually on the side to that person which needs it the most, or which deserves it the most, for good or ill. So it's always like, comes back to the golden rule. Intuitively, as you move about your day with your heart, if you can, even if things aren't going your way, if you can approach it with a smile, if you can exude kindness towards others, even though you're feeling beat down, beat up, stressed out, or anxiety, take care of that stuff in your quiet time, in your sanctuary, when you're meditating. Then when you're out in your world, do the best that you can in front of others and for others, and you know that your heart is going to be the powerhouse. That is the substance your heart needs to stand on right now. It comes back to kindness. I'm not saying that you're unkind, Pisces, but it just can be very tough sometimes to be kind when you're faced with so much anxiety, when it feels almost like, the world is out to get you, or the world has presented you with so much. But we as spirits and as human beings, sometimes our plate is overloaded, or we're presented with more than we perceive what we can handle. But Source and the universe knows that you can handle it. It will challenge you at this time to refine you, to push your limits, so that you can enter into the next chapter much stronger, much more powerful than you were before. But it's like you have to sort of pass this test of like, are you going to give up and fold, or are you going to have the gumption and the stamina to stay the course, to stick with it, to get yourself out of trouble and get yourself moving forward again, because you can do that. Let's see what's going on. A reversal of judgment up in the communication card. Look at this. So somebody could have accused you of something, Pisces, and now you're having to fight or stand up for your rights for something, and it's almost like unnecessarily so, or it is a burden to do so. The communication, there could be some of you straight up, you need to get a new lawyer. You need to get new representation. This is tough, or somebody is not caring about you or your rights at this time, where it's like you almost need to find somebody new to represent you. And this reversal on judgment, it's like you need to plead your case. You need to to almost explain your motivations and the reasoning behind your behavior for some of you. And for others of you, it's kind of like you need to listen to others who may be trying to do that at this time. Maybe they're not the smartest person in the world, or maybe they have treated us poorly. And even if it was their intention, you got to get away from that as fast as you can. But if they're pleading for forgiveness, if it wasn't their intention, you're still having this person in your face, sometimes it's best to realize that they may be doing their best, but they just don't have the level of consciousness to actually, be able to make good on a situation. All right, this is all about forgiveness, judgment, binding contracts. Wow, Pisces, these are heavy duty things going on for you. All right, now we've got the Page of Swords up here in your pineal gland. So this could be an Aquarian person, a Gemini, or a Libra in your environment that you is behind all this, or that you can see as a reason why this has all come down. And they may be acting very immature at this time. And as well, this is something to say that you need to sort of sort things out in your mind. We need sober, conscious thinking. Daydreaminess will not assist you through this particular obstacle at this time, Pisces. Forthright, analytical, kicking ass and taking names type attitude is more beneficial to you this time than sort of the hoping it or the wishing it all away and that sort of thing. So I really hope that, because you are very deep emotional sign and you have this unlimited potential, that it's like things can get out of hand very quickly for Pisces. So we want to make sure that that's not really happening on the daydreamy side. And as well, back to the heart and this karmic intuition sort of things, we want to be very mindful about what we're saying, about what we're communicating. I got a mitt full of cards here. We want to be very mindful about what we're saying and what we're communicating at this time, because it's almost like somebody might be looking at you already, like accusing you of being a snooty or bitchy or a snob or uncaring. It's like there's and it's really dirty, grimy energy. I don't like when people falsely accuse or even just accuse people with no right and that sort of thing. So we have to be very careful that our own words don't lock us into a situation where things have the potential to get worse before they get better. And unfortunately, that's what these cards are saying, unless you can absolutely lock this away in your past and say, nope, F it. You guys, you people, this thing, you're not bothering me anymore. It doesn't affect me anymore. I'm over it. I'm above it. I'm walking away, and don't expect me to turn around. Okay? Pisces. Oh my goodness. At least it's reversed. 5 of Cups up here coming in from Source. And this card is saying, like, if there's any kind of pity party going on within you, Pisces, it's time to move forward. And some of you will. Some of you have got to remember the blessings that are there in your life, your breath, your health, your future, your family, no matter where the relationship stands. The love that you share with other people that maybe have been neglected for a little while. This could be parents, this could be siblings, things of that nature, okay? The 5 of Cups is especially reversed, is saying it's time to remember your blessings. It's time to remember that you are much more than what happens to you. You are much more than the thought that you give something that you might not even have any power over. We have to kind of completely change perspective, or a simple shift in thinking can change it. It's not fatalistic. It doesn't have to be fated. You have the power to move away from it. Okay, Pisces? And I really hope that you do, because this is sticky, grimy cards. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Pisces. A tough one for me to get through, and a tough one for you to get through, too. My heart goes out to you very much so, for those of you that are struggling at this time. All right, know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.